up for grabs. Game 6 is ready, so let's just jump into the action.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Acorn and Bolts, man, really starting to break away from the competition here, showing that they really do have that championship caliber still inside of them. And realistically, they're performing up at the highest level here. Now, Buzz and Sphinx have also played exceptionally well. Although they've kind of dabbled here at the Armory, they've gone outside the draw spot. It seems like they have enjoyed returning back here for earning those early fights. And it's working out as they've actually split up here. But look at this. Sphinx finds Peterbot as Muzz finds an elimination there too. So already they have themselves a nice little two-piece.
Great start for them, and that's kind of one of the things about Muzz and Sphinx. They kind of have placements locked down, especially in the qualifier that they qualified. It's just the lack of overall eliminations in the comparison to some of the other top teams that we have in these games. It's Curve, Higgs, business as usual for them. Higgs just still having those struggles right out of the gates, jumping out of the battle bus, trying to catch his footing. But after that is when he starts to kind of bring things together. Cold and Rapid again. We haven't seen too many of their early game fights and how they do play out, but you're seeing the early aggression coming out from Rapid. Against Chimp on the other side, there is going to be a 2v1 opportunity here. Cold just trying to cut off the other angle, try to stop any options they have as he gets tagged up again with that Mammoth Pistol.
Yeah, Mammoth Pistol is just so deadly. Does so much damage. Really does end up swinging the momentum back in your favor, but take a look at this. Rapid, Cold finish this one up pretty quickly here. Find themselves a nice little elim there. Set up points here at the Elite Experiments, and I mean, just like that, they're in full control right now. Now, again, they have the zone on top of them, so the reboots going to be a little bit harder to track down with all the teams nearby. Meanwhile, Peterbot and Boyo, looking like a repeat performance of the last game after Peterbot got picked back up and sent straight into another duo there. This time, he gets the finish, and off they go.
Back on over to this side of the map. This is kind of what they did in that last game. It was how they ended up clashing against Enough and Salt so many times. But they're going right back on over to that side. This is how Peterbot was able to solidify that elimination. Just boxes Caliper up. No exit strategy. Gets that elimination and sends them right back to the reboot.
Well, let's see how it plays out here for Threats and Visuals now. Just trying to get themselves completely situated here. So far, so good. Single elim onto this team here, setting themselves up. Still in the conversation, right? You know, with 3 games left, 129 points. You saw what a team like Curve and Higgs can do with an 18 elim game, right? Really propel yourself up several positions. If that's nothing else, it should be, you know, a vote of confidence for everyone else to play big or go home. What do you think Peterbot's up to? I think they're just looking to hunt right now.
Yeah, they're waiting for somebody to go down, get rebooted, try to go back deep into the zone to try to find loot. And they're just kind of taking their time doing it. In the last game, the zone kind of worked in their favor over on this side of the map. Unfortunately enough, it is pushing teams further and further away, but he might have spotted somebody else out. Vert, Sales, whether if it's a 2v1 or not, Peterbot's ready to take this opportunity here to try to get a couple more points on the board, missing game 1, which means they have a little bit of a cushion to try to come back from. But good job from Vert. While him and Sales were under pressure, he was able to shockwave up and turn the tables onto Peterbot, even bringing out the rocket launcher, forcing Peterbot to stay stagnant here for a few extra seconds.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, what was that? It's the little RPG already coming into play here. Meanwhile, Vert gets isolated. Boyo comes for the backup, and already they found themselves an elim there. And an upgrade, if you want to call it that. Do you think they actually take the RPG here this early into the game is the real question. I think Peterbot is going to opt into bringing it with them for the next fight.
Yeah, it's just depending on how much ammo is left. You don't get ammo in the ammo boxes, drop players, anything like that. You really only get the rocket ammo from other crates and drops, which honestly, the way they're playing can't necessarily be too hard as Bugha gets found out on the edge of the mountain. This is a crucial fight right now for Bugha to try to stay alive. Not sure where Braids is at, but time is definitely needed, and he got just enough time at least. Bugha's going to go down, but at least his teammate is back into the game.
Yeah, they really need this kind of a game right here, right? Bugha and Braids have fought their way up to like that top 5 range, but in order for them to close the gap here, they are going to need a very, very big, consistent round. Several of them actually to, you know, remain in the conversation. But as you take a look here, Josh and Eams are just starting to really heat up here, kind of go back and forth. But once they get going, seem to be relatively strong. OG Jack back at it once again here. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. We saw them out the last couple rounds. Now they seem to be back in, showing us early glimpses of what we saw in game 1 and 2. And that's the thing with a team like Boji and Jack. You just never really know once they're kind of finding their groove. They are going to be a harder team to fight, as is even Neo and Noisy. Look at this. Peterbot, Pollo back at it this time. Onto Agers. Oh, Ager. What a monster shot there. Can he get the finish? He does in time. All right. Now Pollo has a second guess finish in the fight here.
This is the almost 1 HP left for Agers. Turn the tables on that fight, leaving Pollo by himself. And look at the lack of actual HP. He was stuck eating pizza. He's only getting 5 HP per slice, and he has 6 more in his inventory. So Pollo has to be on the hunt. Bandages, medkits, anything, because these pizza are not going to last him long. And he finds
a little bit of RNG for himself. Gets a nice medkit there. Take a look at Yamzo. Oh no, Bugha was already having a hard time. Touches down, they're like, oh great, a drop. Nope, Yamzo's here. They end up pushing him off of that, so no breaks for them here. Meanwhile, Higgs and Curve back at it here, up against Riley and Curly right now. This is a fight we've seen before. I don't think Curly and Rise came out on top before, but we'll see how it ends up playing out.
You have 3 games left. Rise, Curly, 80 or so points down from the qualification spot. Not necessarily first place. That's housed by Acorn and Bolt with a much larger lead, but with 3 games left, they have to figure out how to cut that deficit. And right now, the team that they need to go after, it's Higgs and Curve on the other side. If they can get a wipe here and solidify this game into a top 5 with a couple eliminations, they'll start to put themselves within reach. But if they disengage, allow for Higgs and Curve to have another monster game, that's when we might be calling it lights out.
Yeah, most definitely here. Look at this though, Curly finishes up Noisy, but take a look at this. Talk about Peterbot getting finished. Boyo actually ends up getting chased down here as well to the hands of, looks like Sails and Vert. This is revenge, because remember they did take down Vert just moments ago here as well, and they seem to be playing hyper aggressive right now. Real question is this replay going to show us Boyo getting fully eliminated before Peterbot gets the touchdown? Let's see it.
I'm trying to count the seconds and the time. Peterbot does drop down, but nowhere in sight for where Pollo is at. He's much closer to where the zone actually is, but he does find access to that mending machine, hits the double patch up, grabs some extra med kits just in case, and he's going to consolidate those pizza slices, so he does have an extra slot there. But you see Sails and Vert, Enough and Salt, Rapid by himself. There's a lot of heavy competition still nearby.
Yeah, definitely. Salt and Enough, man. Having that 40-point lead over second place, now finding themselves trailing behind the leading teams. It's got to be a lot to deal with mentally. With only 2 teams moving on through the competition here for the final spot. They really have to dig deep now with these last 3 games ahead of us. Peterbot, you can see, kind of isolated off by himself. Higgs off to the western side as well, but he's got his teammate pretty nearby.